Hey gang, in our continuing series on what to do with your Thanksgiving leftovers, we are going to be making one of my favorites, a turkey pot pie. These come together really quickly. Let me tell you what you're going to need. You'll need 5 tablespoons of butter, 1 yellow onion, finely diced, 4 to 5 cloves of garlic, smashed and diced, 2 small carrots, peeled, also diced, 1 stalk of celery, you guessed it, diced, a quarter cup of all-purpose flour, 5 to 10 sprigs of thyme ripped apart, 1 cup of frozen peas, 2 cups of finely diced turkey leftovers. Make sure to use both white and dark meat, and 2 cups of turkey stock. Let's get going. Okay, starting with our pie dough, we're going to add 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour to our food processor, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, once you've got the flour, the salt, and the baking soda into your food processor, just give it quick little pulse, make sure that's all mixed together well. Okay, we're going to add in our 5 tablespoons of butter. Give that a pulse. And mix in our 5 tablespoons of lard. So what we're looking for is this sort of meal, like, you want a few chunks in there, it just makes for a flakier crust. Okay, now we're going to start adding our water. So you take your 8 tablespoons of water and 1 tablespoon of malt vinegar and slowly pour it into your Cuisinart while it's spinning. You want to do this quickly because you don't want the butter to start to heat up and melt. So what you're looking for, as you can see there, is it just start to clump. Just do it a little bit of water at a time, and you'll see it right there. That's when you got to turn it off. And now you can just knock it out onto the table. Okay, so we just want to kick this out onto our work surface. And with wet hands, we just start our kneading process. Okay, just form it into a disc. We're going to wrap that in cellophane, get it in the fridge for at least an hour. Let's make the filling. So we are going to melt 5 tablespoons of butter over medium-high heat. As soon as that starts sizzling, put in our onions, celery, and carrots. Leave the garlic for a little later. All we're doing is just sweating out those onions, softening up the carrots and the celery before we start to make the roux. Okay, once this is softened for about 2 or 3 minutes, we're just going to add the thyme and the garlic. About halfway through that, let's just add a couple pinches of nice flaky sea salt and get some pepper in there. Keep moving this around because we don't want the garlic to burn. It shouldn't burn, there's a lot of liquid in there, but keep your eye on it. Okay. Now that everything's sweated out nice, we're going to add our 5 tablespoons of flour. So just dump that right in there. Stir it all to combine. It's going to clump up. That's exactly what we want to happen. Keep that heat at like a medium-high. You can let the flour brown a little bit. Now have a whisk handy as well, because you might need it. Okay, drop your heat down to medium. We're going to add a half a cup of whole milk. This is a quick stir. Going to clump up again. Again, have your turkey stock ready to go. We're going to add about 2 cups in. We're going to do it a little bit at a time. About half a cup or 3/4 of a cup. I'm actually just going to turn the heat back up a little bit. Just under a medium-high. Okay, so you can see it's starting to get to look like a gravy. That's going to continue to thicken, so you got to make sure you continue to add your entire 2 cups of turkey stock. Keep adding our flavors. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire and a tablespoon of Dijon. Keep stirring and keep adding in your turkey stock. We're going to bring this back to a boil because it's going to continue to thicken. Then we're going to add our turkey and add our peas. All right, let's get our turkey in there. 2 cups, a cup of frozen peas. Let's give that a stir. Okay, right before we turn off the temperature, we're just going to liven this up with a little bit of lemon. Take sort of a third off the side of a lemon, make sure there's no seeds in it. Give it a little squeeze in there. And that just livens it up. Okay, heat off. We're going to set this aside to cool for about a half an hour. You can take it out into a stainless steel mixing bowl, put it in the freezer to sort of speed that up. That's what I'm going to do. And then we get to put our whole pie together. Okay, let's put this whole thing together. We're going to roll out our pie dough. Okay, so we made enough for the pie plate and for the top. So typically what I like to do is about 2/3, a little bit more than 2/3 for the plate and 1/3 for the top. So we're just going to cut it there. Put that aside. Take your roller. We're going to flour that. Let's roll this out. I like to reform this into a bit of a ball, just so I'm not chasing the shape. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. I don't think I'm an expert at rolling out pie dough, but this is how I do it. I'm constantly spinning it and flipping it just so I can make sure I maintain that circle shape. I flip it over in the flour and it seems to work out every single time. So I must be doing something right. Don't worry if you get these little broken edges. You can fix that towards the end. Just start to aim for the right shape. Okay, so at this point, I start trying to fix the dough. Okay, so it's feeling like it's right around the right size. Easiest way to tell, you just hold your pie plate over it. You want this, because you know it's got to travel up through the side and you want some overhang on this. So what you want to do is lay your roller on one side. Make sure there's a flour there. You don't want it to stick to itself. Oh, made a mistake already. We'll just put that over here. You drop your pie plate and then you unroll it. So you can fix again all these little cracks right in the pie plate. Because I have a tendency to push down on the sides like this. So I make sure there is enough dough in the bottom so when it's baking, it doesn't shrink up in the pan as much. Or if it does, I've given it a lot of wiggle room. So just sort of gently use your fingers. Push down on the sides, making sure you stick it to the side of the pie plate, folding over those little cracks, and that's it. So the next thing we do is we're gonna put our filling in. Okay. So I had put a little too much of the turkey stock in here. So what I did was I took about 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, sifted it over top and stirred it. It will thicken it up even more during the baking process. It was just a little too liquidy for my taste, so you can do fixes on the fly like that. So let's just get all that in there. Okay. So we're just gonna put this aside and we're gonna make the top of the pie. So I take this extra dough here, I fold it under. Cutting off the dough is not really ever part of my game plan. I know lots of people do that. I don't think you need to. Gives you extra things to play with, like when you get over here, I just fold this over. Again, I don't need this to be super pretty. I have a house full of people who can't wait to eat this. So pretty is not what we're going for. So once I get the folds all in the right spot, then I go and I make my little grandma edge. And I just pinch them like this. I'll just take a small paring knife and we're just going to do 4 cuts. Let it breathe during the baking process. There we go. You've all seen this done 1,000 times. We just want to coat all of this dough in a nice layer of this egg wash. Our pie's ready to go in the oven. So just take a sheet pan, line it with some parchment paper in case you get any spillover. It's not going to go to the bottom of the oven and burn. Okay, we're going to bake that at 375 for about 30 minutes. And we're going to check on it and see how much more it needs. Okay, we've let our pie cool. Now we're going to cut into it. Truthfully, I probably could have let this cool a little bit longer. And that's what we're looking for. A nice flaky crust with that golden top. Let's eat some. They're so good. That is a really good crust. I was rusty. I thought I was rusty for this one. So easy, so good. Thank you for watching.